Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good? It's your boy. I'm her cracking open a bird. Fresh from workflow. You heard? I wanted to hop on here and talk with y'all though. Yeah. I'll give it a minute or two before I start. Yeah, man, too before I start. How's y'all day going today, man? My day's been all right. Had a busy day at work, but whatevs. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, it's a pretty busy day. Busy hippos. Yeah, man. I think there's some dope stories lined up. I know I got some leftover stories from when I was supposed to do a stream last week, so we'll get into that. But uh yeah, give me one second. I want to share this. I want to see if I can share it to my Instagram. I've never tried sharing a link before. Self control ain't never been a thing. Yeah, I'm almost done, guys. Just give me one sec. How do you add a link? Ah, here we go. There we go. I got it now. I'll just tell myself how to share a link on Instagram. I feel old as fuck now. But yeah, so we got some dope stories that we're gonna go ahead and dive into. We're gonna be talking about Nancy Pelosi in Ukraine, man. That's a whole situation, bro. She got like some award and shit. Um, Lloyd Austin. We're gonna be talking about Lloyd Austin, our favorite weapons manufacturer turned Secretary of Defense. Literally, we'll get into it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna be talking about that motherfucker. He basically gave up the game on the US's aim in Ukraine. Bars. Uh, yeah, he gave up the game. He already told it, and Russia knew this already. Russia knows. So, but we're gonna talk about it. Uh, we're also going to be talking about Trump's nuclear warning. So he did like an interview with like Piers Morgan or whatever, and he gave some warnings about like the nuclear war and shit like that. So I want to be. It's going to be a lot. I want to be talking about that. I want to be talking about it from the perspective where I see hypocrisy of him talking about it, and I'll break that down why. And also, in tandem with that, I just combined this story with this because they go hand in hand. Noam Chomsky talking about Trump being like this person that could broker a deal. I don't know if I 100% agree with him because of the hypocrisy I see with Trump, but we'll talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it, and we're gonna go ahead and close. And after that, we're gonna go ahead and close the show out the stream with Zelensky now versus then. So very interesting stuff, and that one's not going to be too long. I just found this interesting Twitter video of him. I think before he was president. So we're gonna talk about that, but we have a dope show as you guys saw. So I guess we can go ahead and get into it. Let me let me see if I could want to see something real quick because you got desires. I know. I know. Let me see. Cause I don't know if StreamYard is put in case you guys comment. because I want to make sure if you guys comment, I'm reacting to it. I don't know if StreamYard. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, I gotta change that over. There we go. Okay, I don't know, but whatever. All right, guys. I just gotta let me check one more thing. All right, let's go ahead and get into these stories, though. So let me pull up this first Nancy Pelosi story. We're gonna go ahead and get into the first story, which is about Nancy Pelosi. I don't know why I'm talking in a shitty ass British accent, but I am. So deal with it, bruv. Uh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. I just realized somebody said he was saying something. I forget what they said he was saying, bro. Niggas be saying, Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. Mama say, Mama sa. I don't know what that nigga was saying, but let's see. Share screen window. Boom. There we go. All right. And here we have it ourselves. Pelosi to Zelensky, US will be there for you until the fight is done. That translates in my brain, in my jaded brain that understands how fucking evil and nefarious the United States government is. That translates to me. US will be there until the last dead Ukrainian. You will be fighting until the last dead Ukrainian. No surrender. Because unfortunately, the mainstream media isn't telling you that the Ukrainian military, whether it's Zelensky or the military, the Nazis that run the military. I know, shocker, right? But they're not allowing people to surrender. They literally want Ukraine to fight to the last dead Ukrainian, and it's a shame. But yeah, so that's what that translates to me. Let's watch the little video they have with it though. See what they say. See the Matt Rivers reports. Yeah, let's play the little video. I think it is a video anyway. I thought it was like an article. I guess not. It's a video. Yeah, it says House Speaker Pelosi led the first official U.S. congressional delegation to visit Ukraine since the start of the war. She is also the most senior United States official to meet with the Ukrainian president since the start of the Russian invasion. Most senior, yeah. So what I guess that would make sense, yeah. Because I know Raytheon Lloyd and Blinky. Raytheon Lloyd and Boeing Blinky was uh was out there. We're gonna be talking about that too. Notice how they say Kyiv. All these fuckers, all these mainstream media fuckers say Kyiv, Kyiv. And it doesn't matter how you fucking pronounce it, but it's just like it's almost as if they're doing that shit on purpose. Because I believe the Russians pronounce it Kiev, and the Ukrainians, like that government pronounces it Kyiv. So like it's just very telling how deep the propaganda runs with these motherfuckers. It's very funny. And these will be the same people that talk to other motherfuckers about like propaganda. Oh, other countries are so propagandized, blah blah blah. Man, the United States, dog. The United States is, I say this all the time. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me get off my phone. The United States is the most propagandized country on the face of the planet. I say that shit all the time, and I wholeheartedly believe that, and I mean that shit when I say it, bro. So, hey, Blinken and Austin. Wow, Adam Shit is there. Well, his name is Adam Schiff, but I call him Adam Shit. So let's run that back. Let's run that back. So we've sent them 33 billion. Well, we just sent them $33 billion. Let me see. Um, how much has United States given to Ukraine? Biden today announced an additional 800 million in security assistance to Ukraine. This is from whitehouse.gov, bringing the total US security assistance committed to committed to Ukraine to 1 billion in just the past week, and a total of 2 billion since the start of the Biden administration. And I think they just gave them 33 billion because they signed a lend lease, and that should worry a lot of people because like, if you know your world history, which I'm sure a lot of you do, a lot of people that watch my channel do. If you know your world history, we used the last time we used the lend lease, I believe, was during World War II. I know we definitely used it in World War II, and we used it to help fund the Allies fighting the Nazis. And a lot of people believe that's what forced Hitler's hand to and that's not, when I say forced Hitler's hand, I'm not defending Hitler, but forced his hand to declare war on the United States because they were being I forget what the exact terminology for it is, but basically you're involved with this. You're giving them weapons. You're involved in this. So that's, I think that's dangerous personally. I'm going to talk about it more on Wednesday. I'll pull up an article about it and everything. But yeah, we just gave them $33 billion, and you saw, so that we're at 35 billion just under Biden, 35 billion. And not that's not counting Trump. How much did Trump give them? Because he gave them a lot. I think he gave them more than Obama did. Uh Funding did Trump give Ukraine? Because Trump gave them a lot too. I think Trump gave them 1.5 billion, but that's not even counting all the fucking, like, and security assistance. So like, I don't even think that's counting like actual weaponry. Military, okay, 391 million in military aid that the US leaders reportedly asked his staff to freeze under pressure from all. This is going down with all of the Ukraine gates, that idiotic Ukraine gate stuff. Point being, we've given these fuckers a lot of money. And, as I covered on my channel before, this money, these weapons, you're funding a Nazi regime. Sorry to tell you that, not everybody in Ukraine is a Nazi. Not everybody in the government is a Nazi. Nobody's saying that. But the Nazi elements in Ukraine they have a lot of power, and it runs deep. They have a lot of fucking power. I honestly think that's why Zelensky is going along with this, because we've seen on camera them threatening him to overthrow him. We've heard multiple stories about threats of him being overthrown, him being violently cooed, even possibly killed, assassinated. If he basically doesn't go with what the West wants. So now, and that's the, I think I tweeted this out, or I put it on Facebook. The United States went from funding the Allies in World War II to fight the Nazis, to fund Nazis to fight Russia. That's very crazy how that happens, right? And it's, it's insanity. I'm not defending Putin or Russia. I'm not saying Putin is a good person, or Russia's, like Russia, the government are good people, but they're in the right. If you really look into the story, and not through bullshit biased media sources, you will understand that they are in the right for doing this. I know some people say that, instead of invading Ukraine, maybe they could have leveraged um the fact that they supply Europe with 40% of its natural gas and fuel, and um oil and shit. Maybe they could have done that, but again, would it have held up? Because we see the economic warfare going on, where now you're about to see the United States dollar crumble as well, because now that countries are getting hip to the fact that, okay, everything is good using dollars as the world trade currency. I forget what the exact excuse me for not knowing the exact terminology, like, right off the top of my head right now, but like, most of the reserve currency in the world is like dollars, most of it. That's starting to change now because countries are getting hip to the fact that, oh, they can just seize our money and take it whenever they wanted to. Venezuela learned this. Iran learned this. Any country that's been sanctioned by the US has learned this. Russia kind of learned it, but these are the harshest sanctions they've had. So Russia has basically, they're decoupling from the dollar. Along, you're going to see China doing that as well. You're going to see a lot of countries dumping the dollar because they see it as a weapon now. Once they see something, the currency being used as a weapon, they're just going to drop it. And that's, you know, bye bye, bye bye dollar bye bye dollar hegemon. So it's a lot of moving pieces to this. It's a lot of shit going on. But the fact that you have the United States giving this much money in aid to Ukraine should be it should tell you, like, the United States isn't, we don't do shit for, do shit like this for good reasons. And this is what, like, baffles my mind about the American people so much, is that the American people still fall for this shit. I hear a lot of people still falling for this shit. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see regular people fall for it, because regular people like me, I'm a rare thing. I'm getting off work streaming talking about politics. Every fucking American doesn't do that. And I'm not gonna shit on and fault every American for not being able to do that, man. Americans have so much to worry about now. They got inflation to worry about. They have all this bullshit going on. They have, in their life. No, not bullshit, but they have all this shit going on in their lives that they have to worry about. Then to sit here and think about this shit. So they're going to watch CNN. They're going to watch Fox. They're going to watch whoever, mainstream news. And then you have the next group of people. It's all about, people don't have time to go through and source information, like fact check where, whatever article you're reading, where they get in their stats and information from, and all that shit, that blase, but on all that shit that goes into that stuff. So, and now with all the censorship going on, you basically have one narrative coming out about this, and they're censoring any other narrative. So it's insane to see. But let's get back into this report. Let's get back into it. I'll rewind it a little bit. So, and again, this is Zelensky. This is going to be very shocked. So you hear Zelensky saying all this shit, and it's very shocking because, like, the Zelensky you're going to see in a video I'm going to show you later is completely different. But bro, your people are dying. Your people are dying. Your people are dying. And it's like the fact that you're, again, like I said, you're only getting one narrative about what's going on, and you're basically getting the Ukrainian, NATO, United States narrative. And the fact that, again, you have American people that, solely blame Russia for this without understanding the geopolitical context of why this conflict is happening. They don't understand the historical context behind why this conflict is happening. It's just Russia bad. And then, people that see through it, like a lot of the Trump supporters are actually seeing through it. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But because the United States is also so politically polarized, you just see, like, people on the other side, whether they're liberals or, independent but skew left a little bit, they're just like, you guys are Putin puppets, whatever, that type of nonsense. So the truth isn't getting out, man. And the media is not surprising. The media is bought. They're bought by the weapons manufacturers. They're bought by billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. To the people fucking riding billionaires' cocks right now. They're, I put this out on Facebook. I said, Americans claim they hate the mainstream media so much, but they dick ride the billionaires that fund them. Like, and that's so 100% true, man. 100% fucking true. So, but the media is paid by the people they're supposed to be holding accountable. They're being paid by the power they're supposed to be checking. They're supposed to be there to check. And that's why you're only seeing one narrative. And that's why Zelensky's allowed here to say that the United States is being a leader. United States is leading them to hell. I did a live stream. I forgot. I think it was the last live stream where I showed y'all expert after expert, geopolitical thinker after geopolitical thinker, diplomat after diplomat, all these credible people saying the same shit I'm saying right now, and I've been saying on my channel, that this didn't have to happen, and the United States is leading Ukraine along with Europe to hell. I was listening to Fault Lines, the Jamal Charles show, Jamal Thomas. I said Jamal Charles, Jamal Thomas. It's on Fault Lines. It's very hard to find it. You just got, I think you got to go to Sputnik .com, I believe, or whatever their website is, and listen to it through there. That's where I've been listening to it at. But he had on this guy, his name is like Elijah something, Elijah Cummings, or I forget what his name is. He is a French political analysis, and he was talking about how France isn't in France. If anybody was to break with the NATO narrative, you know, the United States influence in Europe, it would be France, but France just isn't in a position to do it. And Le Pen, she was the person who ran against Macron. She would have been the most likely person to have been that. And then there was another person. He was the actual left candidate. Macron is a fucking fucking centrist corporatist. Actually, he's a right winger. And Le Pen is apparently far right. I wouldn't be surprised if Macron is actually further right than her, because that's how it goes here. I keep telling people Joe Biden is further right than Donald Trump. So I wouldn't be surprised if Macron is actually further right than Le Pen. But regardless, um, it's not a left right issue, it's a top bottom issue anyway. But regardless, he was explaining that France, would be, France and Germany would be the two countries, but France more so would be the two countries to have to that would have to break that stranglehold that the United States has on Europe. And it's kind of like the UK. It's kind of like the head mistress. She keeps she keeps all the other women in charge, all the other bitches in charge. She's the head mistress. So yeah, because the UK just is America's bitch, and the UK keeps all the other bitches in Europe in line. So, but yeah, man, yeah. So it's very fascinating that Zelensky is towing this line, and like I said, when most Americans only hear one narrative, this just flies right over their heads. The context is not there for them to understand what he's actually saying. His fight, the what he's fighting for is to bring Ukraine further into the Western orbit instead of being neutral, like what Russia wants. Russia has been asking for Ukraine to be neutral. They've been asking for the denazification of Ukraine. They've been asking for them to remain neutral, because Russia understands that Ukraine is so polarized. Literally, you have half the country that wants to be more westernized. You have half the country that wants to be more, in line with the East. And you got half the country that are ethnic speaking Russians, they're Ukrainians, but they're ethnic Russians, and the other half that are ethnic Ukrainians. And there's been, like, Russia understood that if you try to tilt the scales to either side, it will result in a civil war. And the last thing Russia wants is a civil war breaking out on their fucking borders. This is what William Burns, Biden's current CIA, Biden's current head of the CIA, he talked about this back in 2009. It's called "Niet Means Niet." It's on WikiLeaks. I've talked about it on the channel before. Just go watch my back catalog of my Ukraine Russia stuff. And this is why Russia has been demanding for them to remain neutral, not because, oh, we want to tell you what to do, because it's what's best for your country. It's what's best for us, because we don't want a civil war on our country, because we're either going to have it spilling over into our country and it's going to get us involved, or we're going to have to get involved before it spills into our country, like they're doing right now. So, and that, again, that is the context that they're not telling you. So they're not fighting for freedom. You have the government siding with the most fanatical elements in Ukraine, and for 8 years killing its own people. They killed 14,000 of their own people. So again, they're missing, like, the American people that will watch this are missing the context behind what's going on, to understand that they're bullshitting, they're gaslighting right now. That's her saying you're going to fight until the last fucking Ukrainian. And I honestly think they're there because I think Boris Johnson was there. Boris Johnson is the prime minister for the UK, and a couple other like European people were there, but European leaders. But I think they're showing up. They're like, "Yo, bro, you gonna be fighting to that last Ukrainian, right? All right, yeah, bet, yeah, bet." And I think that's what that is. Like, nigga, you gonna be fighting to all y'all dead. I don't know, bro. I can't get I can't really get a read on this motherfucker. I don't know if he's scared out of his mind and he's just going along with it to spare his family's life and his life, or if he's going along with this shit. I don't know. Either way, it sucked to be him right now because like literally, you're the only person. The only like, let's be real, bro. Let's be real. If Russia didn't want, like, Russia's allowing this. Russia's allowing Nancy Pelosi and all these people to meet with them. First of all, if Russia wanted, this is what I kept trying to explain to High Media when he came on. If Russia wanted, or no, we were talking offline, I think. I forget when, but I was trying to explain this to Evan from High Media. Love you, Evan, if you're watching. Um, if Russia wanted Zelensky dead, he would be dead. The reason why he's still alive, and the reason why they've been allowing him to do his little press conferences and now allow people to come in, foreigners to come in. Why the reason why they're allowing this to happen is because they want to negotiate with him to come to a diplomatic ending to this. And if he's dead and some random guy just comes out, the rest of the world is gonna say this isn't legitimate. This isn't a legitimate. Like, the United States can go in and coup Ukraine and literally handpick their fucking government, and somehow the world recognizes that as fucking legitimate. So the hypocrisy of that on its face. But if they would say, like, Russia, if Zelensky were to die and some leader would rise up and end the conflict, they would say, oh, he's hand selected by Putin, blah blah, all that bullshit, all that nonsense. So they want this guy still alive to do this. And the fact, I want y'all to imagine this. So let's say Mexico and the United States is in a similar situation, right? Let's say that. Let's say that war escalates and war breaks out. Like, like I said, the situation is going on now. Imagine if Russia, imagine if Russia sent their top U.S. their very high ranking, like, same position as Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of their house, whatever that's called, sent them to Mexico after sending billions of arms over the last 8 years, sitting down there saying, we're going to continue to support you. What the fuck do you think the United States would do? Or if it was China, what do you think the U.S. would do? The fact that Americans don't think about this, the fact that it's, I'm actually going to be talking about the Solomon Island story that's been going on Wednesday. It's very similar to this, but I just want Americans, to do this thought experiment. If the situations were reversed, the United States would not fucking tolerate this. And this is insane. This is insanity. They're literally sitting here telling this guy to keep fighting and arming them. I can't, man. It. Yeah, this is they gave her like some award. It was like the Princess Olga Award or something like that. It's fucking ridiculous. Again, Russia's not going to bomb them while they're there. But regardless, the fact that they're visiting here, the United States has no shame when it comes to hypocrisy. They have no shame. So yeah, Nancy Pelosi went to visit Ukraine. And like I said, man, the fact that the United States is doing this, they're egging this conflict on, should fucking tell you everything you need to know. It should really tell you everything you need to know. Thank Josh. He was good, bro. Thanks for tuning in, bro. So, but let's go ahead and move into the next story, though. And it's in a similar vein to what we're talking about right now. Give me 1 second. Just got a message. Sorry about that, guys. Jeremy Demart Demert Demert. I hope I pronounced your name right, bro. He said, "Hello, comrade. Love the show." Actually, I'm gonna just throw it up. I'm gonna show it. You should know you were on the right side of the argument if you oppose Pelosi. Exactly, exactly, bro. Exactly, right there with you. My guy, Josh. He tuning in. That's my guy, bro. That's my guy. So yeah, but give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead and move into this Lloyd Austin story. So as you saw in the previous story, actually, let me bring it back to full screen. I gotta make it look good for a post, so I don't gotta do so much editing. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move into the next topic, guys, which we're gonna be talking about Lloyd Austin. They kind of talked about it in the story before, so kind of got an idea of what this is about. But Lloyd Austin and Anthony Blinken. I like what is his name? Pepe Escobar likes to call him Blinky. Anthony Blinky. I love Pepe Escobar, man. They banned him off Twitter, man. They banned him off Twitter. You know what, bro? I might join the mass slobbing of Elon right now if he brings back Pepe Escobar, Scott Ritter, all these other people. Probably not. I'm not going to do that, but still, regardless, bring him back. But yeah, they actually visited Kiev as well, and it's very, again, imagine if this were if the roles were reversed and this was China and Russia doing this to the United States, going and visiting, a country that they're at war with on their border. Is bro, again, hypocrisy knows no bounds, knows no limits when it comes to the fucking United States. But Lloyd Austin gave away the game. Nancy Pelosi kind of gave the game away too. But Lloyd Austin definitely gave away the game. So let's go ahead and look into this video. And I also found some opinion piece. Some chick wrote an opinion piece at the Washington Post, and we're going to read through that too. So let's go ahead and rock out with this video. So again, let's run that back. And what he's talking about there was, and I covered this in a previous story, how the CIA Talibanized. I'm actually gonna let me throw that in the chat down below so you guys can check that out. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna throw it in the chat down below so you guys can go check it out. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, guy. Give me 1 second, guy. Give me 1 second, guy. I just want to throw it down there so you guys can look at it. Go check the video out and get a better context and understanding of what I mean, what I'm about to say. I'm going to drop it down below. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show it. Go ahead and definitely go check that video out. And basically, with that, and that was actually an article written by TJ Coles at the Gray Zone, And what they describe in that article, and it's straight from the horse's mouth. It's straight from the CIA official, CIA people, and all that shit. And they basically talked about how they trained Ukraine. They wanted to Talibanize the Ukraine, and what that a lot of that training entailed was having them fight in civilian areas to draw the civilians in the fight, so they can garner, so they can basically control the media narrative and saying that Russia's killing civilians, but eliminate the context that they're purposely drawing the fight, where civilians are, so civilians will purposely get killed to get as high of a body count as they can to try and get some form of Western NATO intervention. It's the same thing they did in Syria. That's why they did, the false flag chemical attacks. That's why they're talking about, you hear them talking about false flag chemical attacks with Russia now. But the difference between Syria and Russia is that if the United States gets involved with Russia militarily, that's the end of the fucking world. That's nuclear war. That's the difference between Russia and Syria. Just keep that in mind. Let that sink in your brain for a minute. um, but but with the terrain that Austin's talking about here, though, is that now the fight is moved more into like open fields and shit like that. And it's Scott Ritter was talking about this. It's going to be a lot of metal on metal fighting, a lot of tank warfare, a lot of basically this is the glove. Russia's going to take the gloves off because contrary to popular belief and what the fucking media has been lying to you about, Russia's been going soft on them for the most part. They've been going soft on them. I think the gloves, especially as the fight moves to the east and more into these open fields and shit like that, they're going to take the gloves off now, and this is going to end quickly. So that's what he's describing. You're going to see more tank warfare, which is why they're requesting tanks and javelin missiles. I believe that basically anti-tank missiles type shit. I forget. I don't know the correct terminology for it. So, but yeah, so that's what he's describing there. We're twisting the arms of our colleagues and blackmailing them to force them into getting involved in this conflict as of right now, in terms of sending munitions and weapons and weaponry and all that nice stuff. Fuck your people. Fuck the fact that we're forcing you to deprive yourself of, where you get most of your natural gas from. Fuck your people. We need to help the Ukrainians kill some Russians. We want to see remain. We want to see Ukraine. We want to see Ukraine remain a neo-colonizing country. We want to see them remain a basically narco state. They're basically using Ukraine to launder money right now. That's literally what they're using Ukraine to do right now. They're using Ukraine. This guy. So this guy, it's very. I'm glad I said that. This guy literally used to be on the board of Raytheon. Literally, he literally left his position a couple days before he officially became the Secretary of State, I believe. Hold up. It's crazy. Lloyd Austin on board. You cannot make this shit up, bro. Open the floodgates for this. When he picked Rex Tillerson as his fucking Secretary of State. Biden defense pick to get $1.7 million from Raytheon Rule. So he's getting paid by Raytheon. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Here's another one. This is from the Intercept. Biden defense secretary nominee, Lloyd Austin, comes under fire. Comes under fire for industry connections. You see how very nice they word that. Um, yeah, Mark Esper is another one, but yeah, he was on the board of Raytheon, literally not too long. Like literally, I think he like days before he became the Secretary of Defense. So that should tell you where his interest lies. So when he's talking about that generous $800 million, he's going to get a nice windfall when he leaves his position. This is basically when what's his face, Dick Cheney was this fucking CEO of Halliburton, and he left Halliburton, and miraculously, we spent like what? How much did the fucking Iraq war cost? It's like a couple trillion, like 1 point something trillion dollars, I believe. That's where that money. So no, they don't give a fuck about Ukraine's sovereignty, because if they gave a fuck about Ukraine's sovereignty, they will be advocating for Ukraine to be a neutral state. So there he goes. He gave the game up right there. There it goes. Pay close attention. And there he goes cleaning it up. He gave away the game there, folks. He gave away the game there. What Mr. Austin here is describing is basically the playbook. Is basically the playbook that we used in Afghanistan during the Russia when Russia went to war in Afghanistan. So what they're trying to do now, what he was describing was trying to draw Russia into this Ukraine conflict and basically have a dead weight, basically narco state country on their border, similar to what they did with Afghanistan. Again, and basically draw them into this conflict that have them waste money, weaponry, with the hopes that along in tandem with the economic sanctions that they put on them, the people of Russia would get would get in such a fervor that they would overthrow Vladimir Putin, or Vladimir Putin would be removed from power somehow. Vladimir Putin is sitting in his office somewhere like, these motherfuckers really don't they don't know that I understand history. Like the United States is literally the epitome of you can't teach an old dog new tricks, apparently, because nobody's falling for this shit again, bro. China's not going to fall for this, and they're going to try with Taiwan. Whatever Republican president comes into office, you're going to see a similar thing happen to Taiwan. I don't know if you're going to see open conflict, like we're seeing in Ukraine. But you're going to see some type of heat flare with Taiwan when whatever Republican administration comes in 2024. You might even see it as early when the red wave comes and the elections coming up. You might see it then. Who knows? But you're going to see it. You're going to see the same thing happen with fucking Taiwan, because right now they're trying to go after Russia. First, they're trying to go after Russia because China's the real target. They really are trying to go after China. So, but they're using this as a way to weaken Russia, and that was the goal he gave away there, which is why now they're trying to get Finland and Sweden into NATO. They're trying to increase NATO so they can sell more weapons as well, so the the military industrial complex can make more money. This is the same shit. They do the same shit. It's nothing new. This is nothing new for the United States. So the fact that people don't see this happening before their eyes is fucking astounding. And he, like I said, he just gave the game away right there. That's it. Russia knows. Russia's not dumb. Putin knows this. Russia knows this. Lavrov, all these people know this. It's the fucking American people that don't know this, which is why they're continuously pushing propaganda down their throats so they don't see it, and why they censor people like me so the American people don't see it. So they can manufacture consent. We're going to be talking about Chomsky soon, but so they can manufacture consent for war with Russia. They've been doing it. They've been doing it with China. So America's gonna American, bro. That's all I can say. So there you have it. Lloyd Austin gave away the game there. And let's get into the CNN article that talks about this. They say Austin's assertion that U.S. wants to weaken Russia underlines Biden's strategy shift. So you see how they try to they change they say it's a strategy shift. No, this has been the game all along. Your guy just happened to give the game away. So now you see how their little poodles in the media run cover for them, because this has been the goal all along. This isn't just some new thing. This has been the goal. Again, this is the media being state stenographers as usual. So I'm not even going to get into this article because again, like I said, they're running interference for them. That's what that headline right there means. So yeah, all right, that's the next story. So yeah, there you have it, man. Lloyd Austin gave away the game. Woof, man. We're about 45 minutes in, man. Take a little breather right quick before we get into the next story. Yeah. We're gonna get into the next story in a minute. Just let me take a breather right quick. Oh my gosh, guys. I love doing these streams, but I got you. Love doing these streams. Yeah, so alrighty. Let's go ahead and get into the next story. The next story. Hello, my only one. Young like that song's been stuck in my head all day, man. Oh, I didn't get into the Washington Post article. I'll do it another day because I'm ready to. I want to get into this Trump story next. I'll read it another day. I feel like you guys get the gist of what that story is. But so Trump has been in the news recently. He did an interview with Piers Morgan or whatever, but the media is talking about it for all the wrong reasons, as per fucking usual. Um, Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the next topic, which is this Trump thing. And Trump, like I said, Trump's been in the news recently because of his interview with Piers Morgan. But of course, the media is talking about it for all the wrong reasons to own their political rival. But um, first, I want to get into the hypocrisy of Trump saying some of this stuff because I find it amazing. So I find it amazing, and then we'll get into the Chomsky stuff at the tail end. But I find it amazing, how Donald Trump, how much Donald Trump goes back and forth, and people just pretend like he doesn't do these things. I might watch that. I want to see what he had to say. Oh, that's Meghan Markle. I thought he was talking about whatever. But Donald Trump is very much a flip flop. He'll say one thing one minute and another thing the next. That's one of the reasons. That's not one of the. That's actually well, it's one of the reasons why I fell back from being a supporter. I used to be, as a lot of who watch the show, used to be a Trump supporter, but I saw through his bullshit. And it's, he says one thing. So now that it's advantageous for him to shit on and dunk on Biden, he's going to say whatever he needs to say. That's basically what I mean by that. And he's not a man of his word. I mean, the media likes to call him a liar and things like that, which they're not wrong about, but they point out little bullshit lies. They don't point out the lies that he tells that are basically the same lies that Joe Biden tells, and the same lies that Barack Obama tells, and the same lies that George Bush tells, the same lies that Clinton tells, and so on and so forth. He's a liar like every other president. But in my opinion, is he the worst? No, he's not the worst. He's not. George Bush is still the worst president I've ever had in my lifetime. I don't care what anybody says. Joe Biden is getting there for me. But so far, George Bush, horrible, awful. Like diarrhea, throw up, vomit mixed in like a bucket and served to you for dinner. Horrible. Like all of that. All that. So, but that being said, Donald Trump is a bullshitter. And I'm going to, talk about how he is. So here's Trump talking about, the current conflict going on and how it can quickly escalate the nuclear war. He basically warns us. So let's take a listen. And by the way, let's be very clear. If you think Vladimir Putin is afraid of Donald Trump, I have a no. Yeah, I have I have Margot Robbie in the back room. She ready to go let us run a train on her. Bro, if you believe Vladimir Putin is afraid of Donald Trump, I have Margot Robbie in the back room for you, waiting on you. Jesus Christ. There are people there are people that actually believe that. There are people that actually believe that. They believe what he just said. Just want to let you know. You like, I have a cure for cancer in this beer bottle for you. For it costs your life savings, and you might buy it if you believe that. So you see how I'll let him finish. I'll let him finish. They're not speaking with fear. They're speaking with dollar signs in their eyes. That's what they're speaking with, buddy. He's right there. 100% right there. I'll get to why that's important. Kim Jong-un, who's still testing and making nuclear weapons now, by the way. So here's why that's so hypocritical. And he already contradicted himself within that itself. But so here we have it. He said a very similar thing here a month ago. Huh? Huh? Say it again, bro. Say it again. Say it again. They contradict themselves all the fucking time. All the fucking time. They show their cards all the fucking time. All the time. So what he's telling you right there is that one, he would have probably instituted a no-fly zone in this situation, and we'd be in a nuclear war right now. Because again, if you believe Vladimir Putin is afraid of Donald Trump, I have Margot Robbie in the back room for you. My room for you. She's waiting on you. Come on down and see her. If you believe that, you actually believe that. I'm sorry, if you actually believe that, you might lack brain cells. You might lack the capacity to think for yourself. If you actually believe that. So one, you have that, and again, you have him bragging about upping the military budgets, which I thought he was against. I thought he was anti-imperialist. But again, he understands how to play on his base. He understands how to play on this American exceptionalist bullshit that the Trump crowd buys into, just like the conservative crowd buys into, just like the liberal crowd buys into. They just have a different gauge. They segue into it a different way. But all of these people buy into the American exceptionalist bullshit. And he understands how to play on that with he's doing it right now. That's what he's doing right there. So he just admitted to you there that we will be in conflict with Russia because he was going to institute a no-fly zone. So, but let's just run through this video again because there were a couple points. Hang on. And that's the warning. He's right. They're not. Blinken. All these people, they're not. I'm trying to find. So right there, I find that interesting. That's the thing right there. Donald Trump also revealed to you that he buys into the mainstream media's bullshit. He's been watching Fox News. he's been watching Fox News and what's the other OAN, whoever else, The Blaze, all these motherfuckers, these right wing outlets, because they're all saying the same shit that the liberal media is saying, that Russia's not powerful. Russia has hypersonic missiles. They sent that as a warning. Hey, back the fuck off. The United States doesn't have that. These missiles go so fast. None of our defense systems, when it comes to defending against nuclear weapons can stop it. But even in a conventional means, cannot stop it. It can't. We don't have anything to stop it. And again, Russia's running a cauldron. So they're not going in trying to blow up all of Ukraine and decimate the city like we did to Iraq and Afghanistan and all of these other countries we fucking invaded. Okay? So that's what's he's buying into the bullshit. Like, go look at the fucking map, bro. Literally, go look at the map and tell me Russia's not powerful. And again, that's not me trying to up big to big the Russian army, so, cheering them on or anything like that. No, it's accepting reality, bro. It's accepting reality. When Russia invaded Ukraine, NATO woke up in the morning shit in their pants because they know if they went up to the Baltic states, there would be nothing they could fucking do outside of a nuclear strike to stop them. That is a realization that people need to realize. We spend the most on our military, but Russia and China spends better because our military spending is money laundering. It's not for actual defense. It's for money laundering. Because if it was actually for defense, it wouldn't be as high as it is. We wouldn't be spending more than the next 11 countries combined. Dude, it's insane. We shouldn't be spending that much anyway. So, that right there on his face lets you know that he's buying into the mainstream media's bullshit. But also, you have it right here. The Arms Control. So this is the Arms Control Association. U.S. completes INF treaty withdrawal. Less than 1 year, and this is from 2019. This is by Shannon Bugos. I think that's how you say it. Less than 1 year after President Donald Trump informally announced that the United States would withdraw from the 1987 INF treaty, the State Department announced on August 2nd that the move was officially complete. The treaty's death leaves just the 2010 new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, New START, in place to limit U.S. and Russian nuclear weapons deployments, and that pact is due to expire in February 2021. Again, to the Trump people out there, Reagan put this in place. When we negotiated, we're going through negotiations to limit nuclear proliferation, and also to talk down the Soviet Union's dissolution. Which happened in the 90s, I think 91 or 92, something like that. And that goes into the whole NATO expansion conversation, but that's a whole nother conversation. But continuing in this article, for several years, the United States has alleged that Russia was in violation of the INF treaty by testing and deploying a banned missile system. And I don't even know if they have evidence to support that. And Washington pinned its treaty withdrawal squarely on Russia. Russia is solely responsible for the treaty's demise. Oh, I got to like Pompeo. Russia is solely responsible for the treaty's demise, said Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in announcing the U.S. move. Over the past 6 months, the United States provided Russia a final opportunity to correct its non-compliance. As it has for many years, Russia chose to keep its non-compliant missile rather than going back into compliance with its treaty obligations. Russia and China strongly criticized the Trump administration's actions and sought to blame the United States for the end of the treaty. Instead of engaging in a meaningful conversation on international security matters, the United States opted for simply undercutting many years of efforts to reduce the probability of a large-scale armed conflict, including the use of nuclear weapons. Russian President Vladimir Putin said in August in an August 5th statement. He added that Moscow will mirror the development of any missiles that the United States makes. And the reason why I think that's bullshit, sorry about that, guys. The reason why I think that's bullshit is because the United States makes up shit, weapons of mass destruction. That's literally all you got to say. But even if Russia was doing this, again, you have a hostile country on their border being egged on by a offensive military alliance in NATO, and Russia's now adversary, again, the United States, amping up a country to restart their nuclear weapons testing, running biolabs in the country, testing bioweapons, allegedly, and funneling weapons into there. Donald Trump funneled weapons into Ukraine. He sent weapons to the Nazi regimes, to the Nazi battalions in Ukraine. So again, even if they were, the United States is not acting in good faith at all. Continuing, similarly, the Chinese spokesperson Hua Chunying said on August 2nd that withdrawing from the INF treaty is another negative move of the U.S. that ignites its international commitment and pursues unilateralism. Its real intention is to make the treaty no longer binding on itself so that it can unilaterally seek military and strategic edge. And I'm going to get to that in a minute too. For its part, NATO supported the U.S. decision. Of course, NATO's going to do that because NATO's the United States' little gang of fucking bitches and poodles. Um, a situation whereby the United States fully abides by the treaty and Russia does not is not sustainable. Sermon, what does that say? Oh, German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said, however, lamented the end of the treaty, saying that a piece of Europe's security has been lost. And again, Europe, the NATO is a noose around the neck of Europe. That's all I can say about that. Signed in 1987, the INF Treaty led to the elimination of 2,692 U.S. and Soviet nuclear and conventional ground launched ballistic and cruise missiles with ranges between 500 and 5,000 kilometers. Since 2014, the United States has accused Russia of violating the treaty. By the way, that's around the same time the Maidan coup happened, when the United States staged a violent coup on Russia's border in Ukraine. So again, you can't believe what they're saying. The treaty by testing, possessing, and fielding an illegal ground-launched cruise missile known as the 9M729. In October 2018, on the sidelines of a campaign rally, Trump stated that he planned to terminate the INF treaty. Since then, U.S. and Russian officials held only a few unsuccessful meetings to discuss the treaty. Pompeo announced on February 2nd that the Trump administration would suspend its obligations under. So you get the point of what's going on there. And also New Start as well was another one too. But this is continuing that. But this is kind of backing up what Russia and China were saying, that the United States wants to actually start testing again to get a strategic edge, and it makes sense. The Trump administration's nuclear test delusions. Even as the Trump administration struggled to contain the coronavirus in mid-May, White House officials preoccupied themselves with manufacturing a what is it? This is from justsecurity.org. By the way, I always forget to start the article because I get so passionate and into it. This is by Ambassador Thomas Graham Jr. So continuing. A wholly unnecessary threat. On May 15th, senior national security officials at an interagency meeting reportedly discussed the possibility of abandoning the long-standing U.S. moratorium on nuclear weapons testing that has been in place for nearly 3 decades and is now accepted by the entire world, even North Korea. According to a May 22nd report in the Washington Post, the proponents of the moratorium argued in the meeting that the United States should resume testing because Russia and China were conducting low-level nuclear weapons test allegations that appear to be based on no evidence. Allegations that appear to be based on no evidence. Interesting. Such tests would bring no military or strategic benefit to the United States. Instead, they would undermine the foundational global agreement that has curbed the spread of nuclear weapons worldwide for more than 50 years, the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, the NPT. Such low-level tests would be of little military benefit to Russia and China either, as there is scant information for them to gain they do not already possess. Thus, even if such tests occurred, they would not represent any kind of significant security threat to the United States. The only conceivable benefit for the United States of resuming a nuclear weapons testing program would be to create an opportunity. And here comes the Trump gate stuff, the Trump bad stuff, for President Donald Trump to somehow distort the value of it and use it as another meaningless political ploy to bolster his campaign for re-election in November. I would say they're using it to fund the military-industrial complex, and they're using Donald Trump and his ego to do that, maybe. But that last part, that's bullshit. That's all military-industrial complex bullshit. That's why they want to do it, because they're going to make money from it. The weapons manufacturers are going to make money from making these things. The military is going to get their way to have their saber rattling with Russia and China because they're trying to get us into a new Cold War. They're literally trying to take on two countries in the Cold War now. They're trying to take on two countries as our economy is declining, as inflation is skyrocketing, as the dollar hegemon around the world is dissipating quickly. This is the path the United States is choosing to go down. They're choosing this. They're saying, fuck our people. This is what we're going to do. And here they go into the history of, everything and all that. So, but yeah, and again, this is double speak from Trump. This is just double speak. This is all this is. This is another article. Trump administration says it won't carry out a nuclear weapons test at this time. The U.S. told Russia that there is no reason for the Trump administration to carry out a nuclear weapons test at this time during nuclear negotiations in Vienna this week, but reserve the right to conduct one if they need to do so. And this is an official quote from Marshall Billingsley, the top U.S. envoy for nuclear negotiations. We made very clear, as we have from the moment we adopted a testing moratorium in 1992, that we maintain and will maintain the ability to conduct nuclear tests if we see any reason to do so, whatever that reason may be. Well, Pompeo gave a reason for them leaving the INF treaty, which was, well, Russia and China's testing, so we're withdrawing. I don't think it's too far of a step to say that we're also going to start testing again. So again, this is the hypocrisy of Trump saying this, and again, he's saying this so he can own his political rival. This is him owning the libs, basically. This is him shitting on Joe Biden, which fine. I like shitting on Joe Biden too. I like doing it too, but I like to keep my shit fact based. I like to keep it rooted in reality. I don't propel, the news media that I say is fake news to do that. That's just me though. So all this is leading to this Noam Chomsky clip. So everybody's, talking about this. I saw Jamal Thomas talking about it. Glenn Greenwald obviously is talking about it. He's the one posting it. Jimmy Dore retweeted it, actually. I don't know if he talked about it on the show yet. But I think they're looking at this through the wrong lens. I really think they're looking at this through the wrong lens. And I'll get into why I believe that. But let's watch the clip first. He's going through the history of NATO here. Well, he's going through the history of the negotiations for Russia to dissolve, the USSR, the Soviet Union to dissolve, and the West promised that they would not expand NATO, which they lied about and expanded all the way up to Russia's border now. So that's one thing I do. I do give somewhat pat on the back, the Macron for actually trying to talk to Putin. But again, as soon as shit broke out, because the United States kept egging shit on, you saw how quickly he flipped, and he didn't stand his ground. So, I'm about actions, not pretty words. So yes, that is Chomsky saying that basically, that and as Glenn Greenwald says it perfectly. So I'll just read his tweet. Noam Chomsky in an interview this week says, fortunately, there is one Western statesman of stature who is pushing for a diplomatic solution to the war in Ukraine rather than looking for ways to fuel and prolong it. His name is Donald J. Trump, as you just saw. I disagree with that because of everything I just fucking showed you. Clearly, it's very clear he's doing this to shit on Joe Biden and for his ego, for his own ego stroking, to say I'm the best. I bitch Putin. Da da da. Which again, I'm going to say this one last time. If you believe Vladimir Putin is afraid of Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form, I have Margot Robbie in the back room waiting for you. Again, just wanted to be clear about that. But I disagree with that sentiment because of volume. Is the volume low? Sorry if the volume's low. Please don't. I'm about to be so pissed if that wasn't playing. Holy moly. I'm going to be so mad if the volume wasn't playing, bro. I swear to God. Let me check. I don't think it was. Dude, I'm about to be so pissed. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to flip out. This Trump administration's nuclear test based on does, even if history of everything and all that. So not gonna bomb. Wow. So my volume hasn't been playing the whole time. That's awesome. I cannot tell you guys how close. I'm literally about to punch my fucking laptop right now. I cannot. I get so mad. Gonna have to edit all this in post. So yeah. But let's so as I read in the tweet and Glenn Greenwald's tweet there, Noam Chomsky in an interview this week that I just played you and the volume didn't fucking play because StreamYard is fucking garbage. Noam Chomsky in an interview this week says, fortunately, there is one Western statesman of stature who is pushing for a diplomatic solution to the war in Ukraine rather than looking for ways to fuel and prolong it. His name is Donald J. Trump. Wow. That's amazing. StreamYard, you do a good job, guys. You're awesome. So the reason why I disagree with that is because of everything that I just showed you, but you didn't fucking hear, which is that Donald Trump is only using this as a means to get it to shit on Joe Biden. That's just what this is, and to use it to run on and campaign on, obviously, as he as he should. But let's stop pretending that Donald Trump is genuine in any of this. Donald Trump egged this situation on just like every other president has. So that is why I disagree with that sentiment, and I need people to stop looking, stop going along with the left versus right, the culture war bullshit, and look at this objectively. It's the same thing with the Elon Musk situation. To own the libs, people are cock riding, dick riding a billionaire right now. Dick riding Elon Musk. Elon Musk, who's in bed with the fucking military industrial complex and intelligence community, and is affiliated with the Maxwell family, has ties to the Maxwell family. Please knock it off. Really, we're supposed to be different than social media influencers, than the mainstream media. We're supposed to not all of us are informers, but we're supposed to be giving unbiased commentary and our ideas about this. And we're allowing the culture war. The culture war is seeping into a lot of people's brains that I'm seeing, and this is one of them. Noam Chomsky is wrong here. He's just wrong, flat out. He's wrong on COVID, and he's wrong on this. There's like Donald Trump is just as much of a accelerant to the situation as Joe Biden is. And then to add on top of that, I think Donald Trump would have stoked a situation in Taiwan personally. But even in Ukraine, he's even more of an accelerant. He was sending weapons there as well. So that's how I feel about that, guys. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close that segment out there. And I'm gonna wind down on the pod here altogether because that the volume not being on just kind of really made me mad the whole time. So now I have a lot of editing to do in post. That really just had me mad as fuck. Like I cannot tell you, guys, I'm going to tell you right now on the stream. I'm not going to be streaming for a while until I get Streamlabs back because StreamYard is fucking garbage. I'm telling you that right now. I fucking hate StreamYard. So I'm not going to be back. I'm not going to be streaming until I'm able to get Streamlabs back. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'll be putting clips out or something because this is fucking ridiculous. I always have a problem on here with StreamYard every time I stream, and it's free. I'm sorry to complain. I'm glad they're supplying this free. I'm able to stream, but nah, I'm fine because this is ridiculous. So, but yeah, guys, thanks for tuning into the stream. Everybody that was showing love, Josh, Jeremy, Sugar that was in there as well. Thank you for tuning in, guys. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close out here, guys. Peace. Be easy.